And so we begin. Ah.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness me, this has been a while. Welcome back, Logistical Nightmare Racing Tuesday night event, and we are back in the mix. It's like I highlighted. Brands Hatch, unusual scenario, and currently on the track. Again, not to confuse everyone out there, GT4s. Now, when is the last time we've actually seen a couple of GT4s on ACC running around the track? I bet you it's been ages. So, currently in the mix, we have probably about 23 plus competitors, to my knowledge. Now, I stand to be corrected. I do believe there is potentially a lot less than what I'm actually saying at this moment, but again, truth be told, 26 drivers on track, or 20 plus is what I'm going with, GT4 Racing Round 1 season, God knows what at the moment, but it's the LNR Minor League GT4, so I think it's going to be epic fun. We are at Brands Hatch, so I don't know if that is a brilliant choice to start a season off in GT4s in a wet condition. These boys must certainly not be very happy, in all fairness. I mean, who wants to give a go to a season on a wet race? Currently looking at Mayer at this moment, no one is actually put a lap down from standing positions, and I'm wondering if my application does work. It's probably gone horribly wrong now. I am definitely having some technical difficulties at the present stage. Right. Go. Let's just do all of this again. I am really having some technical difficulties. Means I have to set up everything again. Target qualifying. Make sure everything works again. Okay, I think I'm with it at the moment. So let's just swap around cars. There we go. So now we got a better time. There we go. This is a lot better. So Meyer is the man that set the pace at the moment in the Porsche in the 1:39.5. We still have less than 5 minutes to go from the grid points. We have Power chasing him down. He seems to be about a second off the pace, followed by Barrington Smith in a KTM, which is a pretty beautiful car and goes off track. So again, must be tough for him to keep it there. Giancarlo Schooler smashes it out into P2 with his Porsche. Paul Venter driving in a yellow Audi. Nel Bullion also, ooh, that's in the Janetta there. So we got a vast variety of cars. We have W. Lewin ZA in a McLaren GT4. Alice or Alias or Alice. Oof, I'm gonna ruin your names if it ever was it. I am so sorry for that. He's in a Chevy, which I would probably say is my absolute favorite. And then Gurney here, that just went off track. He is also in a KTM. So a couple of Chevys, couple of BMWs. Oh, and Alpine. We have an Alpine on the track driven by Sean Stradom. So boys have gone wild in this season, picking vastly different cars to what I've expected. I do hope that the BOP for these cars have been heavily improved. Alan Patterson currently with an Aston Martin, and by the looks of it, he seems to be the only individual with an actual custom-made livery. I gotta imagine that is some wild color there on that car. Looks spectacular though. I'm not too sure whether it's upside down or downside up, or maybe it's just my viewpoint, but sheesh, it is like Picasso is what I'm gonna go with. That literally looks like Picasso. Again, it could just be the way the livery has downloaded it onto my PC, making it unusually strange on that end. See Deploy here in his Alpine, currently in 8th, so top 10 at the moment. Stradom is first with his Alpine, followed by Meyer, Power, Schooler, Barrington Smith, Patterson, Spenter, Deploy, Jansen van Vieren, and then rounding it off in the top 10 is Ferrara. So a bunch of new fresh names in the mix there for top 10. Sean Skitter, known to be fast-paced in a BMW, doesn't seem to be getting it right, and by the looks of it, it doesn't seem like he is going to get it right. Now Bullion in the Janetta, potentially struggling in the wet trains. I don't think that Janetta on wet trains is good enough, or whether it even has the base there. Back into Ali's. Let's just see who's doing good times at this moment. Deploy at the present moment is up by 1 second on his Delta. Now again, if he maintains that, that could potentially put him up all the way to, I would say, P1, P2. Oh, no, I'd go with P3. P3 is where he would probably go. And can he outrun Bauer? No, just shy of Bauer's time, which was a 1:39.527. Bauer is off pace, so he is not going to improve. Ploy is going for it again on the second time around. Gets a bit of speed. Giancarlo Schooler, early stages of the first sector, heading in down the back straight. He's got about 3/10 in him at the moment, so a bit of work on his end. Apart from that, no one really stands out to potentially take on the top spot for a qualifying session. Schooler has got 5/10 up on him, so again he is trying to get into the mix there between Meyer and Bauer, and of course Deploy. Big spin on him, that pretty much ends it for him. He's going to take it up into 6th place. Deploy is trying to get better, but so is Bauer. So again, Bauer up in pace, 2/10 he has. I reckon if he gets that, there will be a P2 for him. Still a full 1 minute left, and he needs to finish it off nicely. So the nerves will be very daunting to him. Hopefully he does not look. Oh, as he makes a big fumble there into the wall. That is him, done and dusted. P3 for sure. Deploy cannot improve on his time. That leaves him on a P4. Kutzer, on the other hand, in the Chevy, making a better wind. He's got 6/10 up. Final few corners for him. Just needs to pull it off nicely. Great exit from him. Up to about 8/10. One more corner to do. Let's not lose it now. Focus and zone. Looks like a good exit. Didn't lose a lot. Oh, maybe a 10th or so. That's gonna notch him up a few spots when he pulls this off. Ah, missed it. Missed it. I did missed it. Another qualifying session. Let's just see if we can return to the garage. Look at the timetables. We got the qualifying session for P1 as these boys go out for their secondary qualifying session. Now again, this is the new things. 2 qualifying sessions back to back. Quite interesting. So straight on puts it in pole with a 1:38.7. Meyer, he has it in 2nd place. Bowler, of course, in 3rd with a Porsche. Then Deploy, who we know can get better, so can Bauer. Patterson with the fastest Aston Martin, a 39.5. Oh, that's so close. And then, of course, Schooler, who gave up 6/10 there into the ground. Barrington Smith, Ferreira, Paul Venter, Van Vieren, Skutter, Kutzer, Julian, Lewin, De Santos, Alice, Plessis, Julian, Vandenberg, Prius, Hugo, Mol, McQuanzi, and Koenig. Now, is that Bartes? Is that Bartes Hugo? Oh, that would be quite interesting if that is Bartes Hugo from the Race Face division. For anyone that is interested and curious, those boys run a Thursday night division. Doing GT3s, and yet, yes, I see the name, Bartes Hugo. Race face man in the mix, driving at LNR in a GT4. Unbelievable. It is going to snow. The snow is out. No wonder it's so cold here for me this evening. But nonetheless, these boys have got a lovely GT3 series that they run on Wednesday, Thursday nights. And then, of course, an endurance season that's going to kick off at the, I guess it's the end of this month or in this month or in next month. Either or, I am certainly keen to sign up for that. Love a good endurance race. So again, if you are open to grab a teammate, get some good racing behind you every month at raceface.pro. kicking it off. I reckon it's end next month. Again, don't quote me on that. Please just go check them out on the website. Again, Facebook and all their social media content. I did see that they did post something out earlier on this week, so you will definitely see me on track because we are two very friendly and competitive communities doing the best we can for Simracing. Nonetheless, enough of us, more of this. That's what you're here for. So the big question is, we have two qualifying sessions at the present moment, back to back, really, because we've got two 25-minute races back to back. Okay, reckon the second qualifying session is all got to do where the guys will start from their second race. At the present stage, we know that straight on to Paul Meyer was in the mix there. Schooler has the potential to put it up there for sure. Now I'm gonna go Bauer. Again, he can probably put it in there. Skitter, currently the man in the mix with a 41.5. I've certainly seen a lot better over there. I'm keen to see how this is going to start. Now, for the first season, wet race, live stewarding, I reckon these boys are going to have their hands full from a stewarding perspective, purely just because, I mean, in all fairness, it might just be quite interesting to ensure that everything goes as clean and as smooth as possible. Whether that will happen, that is yet to be determined. Is kind of where I'm going at. But nonetheless, racing it is, and sim racing we will go. Currently watching Skitter, Alan Patterson, the man on the move at the present moment. He has put up a 140.5. Now I'm expecting to see at least the 38s again, unless it's gone a bit wetter this time around. How that will evolve, I am yet to be amazed. Bauer, there's the man. 139.7. Can he take out his best of a 139.5? This time around, the boys would have some level of grip, some level of understanding. Straight on back in it again, 139.4. We did see him do a 138 though. Will they push the boundaries, or will they exceed their own expectations? Is kind of what I'm sitting at. I reckon it's quite difficult for me, like, in all fairness. Doing two back-to-back scenarios of a qualifying session is pretty daunting. Normally on the second turnaround I am generally more confident. I think I can do it a lot better, and then you go for broke kind of a approach, which will hurt you, as it's hurted me on numerous occasions. But then again, the racemanship and sportsmanship and racecraft and level of skill of the individual on the track potentially far exceeds my skill level. So let's see where this goes. Gerard van Vieren is definitely up there. Schooler is back in the pace. Meyer is setting up his time again, so good to see him there. Now, he was second in the first qualifying session. He's still got a better pace in him, so does everyone else. Looking at the deltas, who is doing phenomenal ups at this moment. Meyer is up again, but he's got a bit of McLaren ahead of him. If you look at it from a bumper perspective, See the spray of that McLaren. It's going to compromise his line. Side by side they go. Just underneath the standing bridge. Is the McLaren giving him space? No, he is not. He is held back though. The Porsche's gone through. He keeps his delta up, so he's still got that 3/10 up. Still a bit of work for him. Beddington Smith, on the other hand, he is up by 7/10. Now, of course, this is in the final sector. A bit of traffic ahead of him as well. I think slight frustration would be the way. Same McLaren as well. Keeps the momentum going. Mayer up now by 6/10. That is definitely going to squeeze him into pole position. If he gets that right, no, loses about 2/10. But he, oh, that is so close. 2.87 by 0.027 of a difference. Look at the top four. They are not within, they are within 2/10. That is vastly close to one another. Deploy, on the other hand, is trying to make moves. Where is Stratum? Stratum needs to put it together. He is still at the start of his lap. Plenty of traffic all around. That is the Aston making a bit of a balls up coming out of turn 1. To be expected. Skitter up by 4/10. Now he's got to do a lot more than that, because he is definitely down by about 1.5 seconds though. Loses more time in the end. Top 5 boys still battling it out. Well, in all fairness, top 2 boys battling it out. Meyer, Schooler, Patterson has left it to the gods. They reckon no one is nearly going to catch them, and I think it's probably the best choice. Stratum is down by 4/10. I don't think he's going to make it this time around. Deploy, on the other hand, might be the pole sitter for race 2. He is a bit up on his delta by about 2/10 as we speak. Stratum still down by 2/10. He has got a lot of work to do. Not certain he's got enough magic up his sleeve to make more than half a second up in the final corner. It is there, it is a good exit, but just not good enough. It still leaves him in second place. Deploy doesn't need to do anything. He will, however, improve on his time, just to show off a bit. But that is him in first. Nel Bullion, on the other hand, he is about, sure, 7 or 8/10 away from Gerard Jansen van Vieren. I'm fairly certain he is pushing, because you can see the green. He knows he's got more pace, but loses a bit of time there. Not going to be enough for him to bump up his position. Everyone else, apart from Alice finalizing it up, he's up by 14. So that's definitely going to improve his current position. Pushing it up a bit. Yes, it does.
Alright, we have some wet conditions. Remember that cars are slippery and watch your braking distance.
Let's see if we can get to the boys. Okay, this is quite a big grid, so I'm going to try and run this through as fast as I can from grid ordering position. So, Straddle, followed by Meyer. Then, of course, we have Power in his Porsche in car 1. Deploy in the Alpine 21. In 5th place, Alan Patterson in the Aston Martin. Giancarlo Schooler in his Porsche car 77. Ryan Beddington Smith in car 74 in 7th place. In 8th, we have Ferrara in 22. Paul Venter in car 42, the Audi up there in 9th. 10th, we have Gerard Johnson van Vieren, followed by Sean Skutter in car 13, BMW, fastest of them all. B. Kutzer, and the fastest Chevy. Then Nel Bullion in his Janetta, followed by Lewin in his McLaren. De Santos in 15th. Alice in the second sister Chevrolet, excuse me. Then we have Duplessis in the Aston Martin, Lee Bullion in the Porsche, representing the Bullion boys, or B. Ferroni, Van der Berg in 101, Prius, Mol, Kwanzi, and then of course Gernick here at the back of the pack. I reckon this is going to be quite a good representation of the grid as they are ready to start it off. So it does say less rain within the next 10 to 30 minutes. So we will potentially see a bit of a dryish line on the track building up. I do reckon I'm going to see, or we are going to see, a lot of chaos from these guys, because if you look at the spray, I think I'm going to go here in the mid-back and just go a bit of a bumper view as we filter in through the cars. That's probably not the best show there. These guys are on a GT4, so they do need to warm up their tires as best they can. GT4 tires don't really get up to temperature that quickly. Nonetheless, a 20-minute race. Quick sprint race for GT4s on Brands Hatch. To those on the stream, howdy, how's it? Welcome back at you. Paul's going, the race is way wetter than expected, so we have a vastly wetter track than what everyone anticipated. I kind of go with that. If you look at the configuration of how this was set up, I mean, I had a brief look at it. I mean, you do have a 0.5 cloud level with about 0.35% of rain, which is quite a bit. So for those drivers that didn't expect such a wet race, welcome to the world. At least the track is not flooded, so there's a win there. And from the weather prediction setup at the moment, it is going to rain a little bit less in 10 minutes from now. So hopefully by the end of this race we will probably see less of a, or more of a dry track line, but we will figure out how that goes. As the boys line up, the collision parameter has been set. The application is all sorted. We are doing a target for race 1, going back to the leader, and off we are, racing at start. Side by side is the Alpine and the two Porsches. That is Meyer making its way on the outside line, giving enough room for Sean Strydom. Strydom decides to then tuck in right behind him. Does Strydom fight it back into the second corner, goes all the way to the outside line. I don't think he's going to have enough grip though. The Porsche does look to be far more superior, so good start by the boys. A slight pickup problem there by the Audi, Mr. Paul Venter. Don't know what has occurred to him, but I think there's a bit of a collision there. He's going to drop the spots all the way backwards. As my Delta filters through, there we go, back in the mix again. Now let's look at it from a rear wing perspective. Meyer leading the track. He has got Strydom Behind him, good race start nonetheless. Deploy in third place, Bauer fourth, Patterson fifth, Schooler sixth, Berrington sixth, seventh, Ferrara eighth, and then Gerard van Vieren just lost the position, lost more positions. He's been Sean Skitter, so Gerard van Vieren is off track and off the shenanigans. Race 1, track 1, incidents being recorded as we speak. It looks wild and hectic. A couple of spins here, a couple of contacts. Let's just see what does occur and how we evolve from here as they come through the start finish line. Meyer has a decent lead on him, managed to create like a second in that whole lap. Don't know what he did, but he potentially had some heaters on his tires. Out the box, out the mix, in and out, purple through and through. Straight on, under some pressure with deploy there. Meyer on the other hand looking quite comfortable, and again Meyer from a Henry Meyer point of view. Christian deploy there in third place, comfortable there, so two Alpines back to back, sandwiched between two Porsches. Fleming Bauer in fourth place. Then of course you've got Alan Patterson, who is known for his consistency, whether that is a GT3 or even a GT4 at the moment, just looks to be on point and solid. Giancarlo Schooler in his Porsche being chased down by Ryan Berrington Smith, representing Berry's Racing. Terence Ferrara in car 22 with the Audi, fastest Audi, leading Audi, and then Sean Skitter here in ninth place. Bit of a gap between himself and Nel Bullion, who has some pressure. I'm gonna go some pressure by Llewellyn. I'm gonna go Wes. Okay, can I just go Wes, because I can pronounce it. Wes. Chris De Santos in 13. He's being chased down by Janaman Prius, who's got Devon behind him. In number 15, Paul Venter, who did qualify quite well, has lost 6 positions since the start of the race, made up a few spots though, so back in the mix again. Ooh, contact here by 2, more contact. Oh, that has certainly caused a bit of an incident there. Let's just see if we can actually pick up what has happened there. William is back in the mix again, but I think he will have some damage. So coming out of the final corner, everything looks all dandy and well. I mean, not really anything there to be that overly concerned about. Does he brake too late? Because again, the gap between him and the Chevy is far. No, he goes deep, very deep. Tries to bring the car back on track. Oh, and then makes contact with the Chevy. Takes 2 other cars out of the mix. That is just daunting. I mean, that is a career-ending race for him. Just outbrakes himself slightly when he went into the first corner. Now, that collision has caused a lot of headaches for him. Deploy is back and forth. It looks like Bartes Hugo with his BMW. Meyer in second. Stradom has lost another position. Now he's under pressure by Fleming Bauer, who has managed to pass. I think that's Bartes Hugo. Bartes Hugo has made some contact or issue somewhere. Let's just see if I can see it. No real dilemma there. Open space. Sounds like a good exit. Just go a bit of a bumper. See what it does from either point of view. Ooh, outbrakes himself again. That's another example of getting it wrong. Getting it back on track. And then he's got all the front runners on his tail. So that's just not the start that Mr. Hugo wanted. I reckon he's going to bring it back full swing in round 2. In all fairness, front race is being dominated by an Alpine. Never have I ever thought that the Alpines will be representing themselves in a GT4 race. Big ups to them. I'm loving this. It used to be just the Porsches, but now the race is on. Okay, let's just go find more good racing. Gaps between the boys are vastly goes. Here in 3rd, 4th and 5th is exponentially goes. Ferrara here at the back, he's being chased down by Ryan Bennington Smith in his KTM. And to my knowledge, I do believe that KTM has got good straight line speed, but I just don't think it's good enough for a wet race. But this evening we have wet Brands Hatch, overly wet, partially dry yet to come. Passing a blue flag back marker, opening the door up. Vardas lets them go. Back at the back now we have Kutzer. He is being hunted down by Paul Fenter for the 12th position. Big fan of that Chevy, that am I. If I ever had to be in a position to drive a GT4, that would probably be my number 1 go-to car. Wezier trying to build a gap between himself and, of course, Gernick, and I believe it's Steven Gernick, trying to chase him down in a KTM as well. Phew. I gotta admit, this looks like a race versus LNR versus I don't know who. But it's good to see so many individuals driving GT4s. That is Gerard Janse van Vieren. They're in the back with his semi-pink orange Audi, trying to make up time, but he is about 5 laps down, so this is a race that he would not want to have anytime soon. Now Bullion in the pits, he's going to lose a lot of time just getting his car fixed. I think presently he has been in the pits now for how long? Yeah, that's 2-3 minutes in the pits for Nel Bullion. That is definitely a long pit stop. Back to the leaders of the race. Deploy, building the gap as he progresses on forward. Just over 10 minutes left. I would say halfway through the first 20-minute race. Hands down, if Deploy keeps his cool, it is his in the bag. Mayer and Stradom on the other hand, still trying to keep it close to one another. It's definitely not over yet. Power has dropped back a little bit, but he also needs to be cautiously aware because he is being chased down by Giancarlo Scudery in car 77, so that's Porsche on Porsche action there. From a lap standing point of view, the top 5 boys are all matching each other lap by lap, like literally just a few tenths away. And I did see Schooler going off track. That has opened up the position there for Alan Patterson to take 5th place. Advantageous and cheeky at the same time, but again, you make a mistake, it gets taken away from you quite instantly. as we progress forward. Stradom has caught up a little bit to Mayer ahead of him. Not by that much though. Venter has managed to pass Putzer. Putzer knows that he's got his own race to follow. He's probably just going to focus on finishing, getting good results, and then taking it when he can. Ball again. Again, just taking care of some technical support on the background. Devon, on the other hand, is being chased down by Wes and his McLaren, so battles everywhere on the grid. Less than 7 minutes to go. Steering team has been busy up till now. I reckon they will certainly be quite overwhelmed by the number of activities that has happened. Chris Santos here, he has got Paul Venter on his rear end. Now Paul has been fighting all the way through, taking position by position as the laps moves on. Nonetheless, ahead of De Santos is Ferrara, so he is looking to gain a position, but needs to be cautiously aware that he has someone on his rear end chasing him down too. It's all about not making the mistakes and being confident in your drive. Will he manage to catch Ferrara and keep the Audi behind him, and maybe then build up a gap so that he can create some? Prius, or Janeman Prius has gone off Mercedes. Quickly gonna do and try something. Come on, Mike. Just bear with me a few minutes. I'm just gonna do be right back scenario.
finish the race.
Okay, so piss off. Hello. What's happening? Okay. That probably does help, but like, it, Yes. Hello. Ah. So we're back. Ooh. Don't know if everyone heard those things. Let's go with what it's at.
And also watch out for your braking distance.
Now I'm gonna do everything on my end again because I had to go play, disconnect, come back, sort out all my little things. Today is just the night whereby we refresh ourselves on what is actually happening. So, it's all good. Okay, let's get back into it. I'm gonna go with apologies for all the fantastic things that has happened since we started. Race 2, 20 minutes of racing. Again, grid has not changed. Like I said, definitely something we need to learn from a server setup point of view. One is the grid didn't really change, so even though we have 2 qualifying sessions, qualifying session 2 did not take into account of qualifying of race 2, so it didn't work in that manner. I do want to check out something, how this was set up, so let's just go and do a quick setup review. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. We're gonna do a grid start, so let these boys start off, then we can go and tweak it further and understand what has happened that caused all the shenanigans here at the present moment. Now again, this is kind of the shenanigans that these boys need to sort out themselves, but I reckon you should have a qualifying and a race, and then a qualifying and then a race. But I don't think that is vastly possible. Okay, so grid start, race thing, let's go back as normal. I don't think these boys are going to switch it up. We're going to take everything based on the first qualifying session.
Give it all you got.
Will we see the same thing coming around again this time around? We have straight on being a bit more quicker on the throttle, faster approach as it is. This is going to let the boys in the background fight it out a bit. Do we see any yellow flags picking up anywhere? No, it looks kind of green. Very cautious one. Devon has been spun out. I'm gonna go and have a look at him shortly. The rest of the grid looks nice and clean. Gerard Jansen van Vieren looking vastly open there. That did look like the Aston Martin is being pushed a bit to the side there by an Audi. Don't know who that Audi is, but Paul Venter? No, Paul Venter is off the grid. Alan Patterson there. Front Audi is definitely not Paul, so that is Ferrara that squeezed Patterson out. Patterson under severe pressure again there by the secondary Audi by Gerard van Vieren. Gerard takes the inside line. Patterson, being the man that he is, opens up the space, gives him enough room to let him race, but that puts him under severe pressure again by Kutsar. Kutsar, who did a fantastic race 1, looking to improve on his initial grid ending from the first 20 minutes. Again, those that haven't watched it, do go back, and again, I apologize for you having to see all the intermediate breaks here and there that has occurred. Nonetheless, we do need to dish out some penalties, had to go and sort out some technical difficulties with the server. Again, this is a learning curve for all of us. We are trying to figure out whether we can do 2 qualifying races with 2 races itself, and then the system will pick it up itself. Harry Mayer died. No, Mayer, what has happened? That is not cool. Mayer is out of the mix. Detrimental failure for him. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I am so sorry for you. PC died. I'm like, how does that happen? What is it with ACC and PC dying these days? Don't know, just black screen. I don't get that. Like, I really do not get that. You are not the only one that has these problems these days. Like, I have had probably 2 out of my last 5 races where my PC just went, no, not happening. And it's on all my ACC races. So my success rate at this moment with ACC is less than 70%. So I don't know. I reckon there's something that needs to be fixed, or it's just us overwhelming the game with all the custom lobbies. But I wouldn't expect it to be that problematic, considering it's GT4s. I think there's only like 2 cars with custom lobbies, so it can't be that. Why is this happening? Oh. Nonetheless, let's just see where we are from a race good. So Skitter has lost a lot of track points. He is, well, positions. He's gone all the way back though from Fear, and is trying to chase down Ferrara. Bauer is battling it out with Deploy and Stradom, so these boys are definitely on the mix here. So Alpine versus Alpine. Ooh, a bit of a slide there by Stradom. He's going to go defensive into the corner. Deploy taking it wide, getting the inside grip. That is just to get a better approach and more speed down the straight. Does he have enough though to take it on the inside to Stradom? Doesn't seem like it. He wants to. Hesitant though. I reckon if that was a dry line, he would have chucked it in right there just to get that track position. Yeah, it's all about making the move count. Unsettling Stradom as he exits that corner. Doesn't lose a lot of time and momentum though. But I can certainly feel that. Ooh, as Deploy makes a mistake, goes off track, opens the road to Bauer. Bauer now has the opportunity to go and chase down Stradom. But that still makes Bauer the next victim for Deploy. Deploy is hungry for 2 back-to-back wins. By the looks of it, he does look like he's got the pace for it. Now he needs to set up 2 passing maneuvers. Ooh, that got so close. Holy crap. I'll be honest, that is very close. Patterson, yeah, going very wide there. Doesn't look very happy in his second race though. Ooh, did close the door there on the Audi. Knocked him out. That Audi took the inside line, saw an open wide gap, and then just took it. Patterson did go and moved into his natural racing line. Ooh, that's Giancarlo Schooler off the track as well. He went into the barrier. Plenty of unusual accidents in Janneman Price here. He is fighting it out there with Nel Bullion. Now, of course, this is far wetter than the previous race. More continued rain here at the moment. 14 minutes of racing left. The grid is very close to one another. Bartes Hugo, on the other hand, is having a much better race this time around as opposed to what he had in the first one. I'm fairly certain he does not want to repeat what has happened to him in race 1. Oh, big accident here in front of him. Everyone trying to avoid all the shenanigans there. How they managed to do that, I have absolutely no clue. But Bartes makes up multiple positions there. Praise going in heavy defensive mode, takes the line deep and opens it up. Let's just go back. So I reckon that was Lee Bullion. Yes, Lee Bullion, yeah. Now it looks all good and well there. No issues from that standpoint. Oh no, my setup is just not right. Damn you, setup. This doesn't save everything when I want it to save. Now there was definitely contact there. Just missed it though. Stay and remain there for quite a bit because I now went and pressed the wrong button. So watching a replay here of these two individuals fighting it on. This is Beddington, Smith and Bauer. This is Beddington taking the position from Bauer. Bauer has dropped a few spots there, so that's third place at the moment for Beddington. Great overtake maneuver in this sudden replay. Let's just go where we are at the present stage. They are still battling it out. Jansen van Vieren, on the other hand, he is chasing down Ferrara, who made another big mistake here. Is he going to capitalize on it? No, not so much. Ferrara does close the door on him, but this kind of makes this a three-way tie for position. Of course, we've got Kutzer in the Chevy, one of my favorite cars, and I'm probably going to keep on saying that because I just love it. I mean, just listen to it. Like, let's just go and have a nice listen. Takes the inside there by good move from him, stick it in. That Van Vieren is going to drop back a bit. He did make the mistake, that's going to unsettle him. Penalty is being dished out at the moment. I reckon all that's being dished out is for race 1 shenanigans. More to come though. Again, 5 seconds for Schooler. We have Telfer de Bar that got a couple of point penalties there. Of course, Paul Venter dropping backwards more and more and more. So it's Kernick is in 18th. Devon is in the pit. Meyer is there. Bartes Hugo is now in 14th position. It's being chased down by Janeman Prius in the Mercedes-Benz car number 9. Gap was only about half a second there. And then of course he's trying to chase down Nel Bullion, who is having a battle with... No, Nel Bullion's not there, so Chris De Santos has got free space and time. Mole, on the other hand, he's got Patterson and Gerard Jansen van Vieren all over him. That is Patterson going on the inside line. Gets the position done. Now it's up to Gerard van Vieren to see if he can do that. Mol going defensive. Oh, it's got to be wet and wild there. See how this goes. Exit for him is very good. He's got that Aston ahead of him. Beautiful viewpoint. A bit deep for that corner entry. That to me tells me he's braked a bit too late. Does that Audi have enough legs to take him down in the first sector? You can see the line of the Audi that wants to line it up. But you gotta build that momentum for the second corner. Is he gonna swing it in on the inside? He does. Pushes it in. Goes too deep. Misses his braking spot. Mol goes, thank you. I will happily take that back. Go get some more driving lessons before you come to my neighborhood. Again, that's kind of where I would be sitting. Giancarlo Sculler with a 5-second penalty. He is being hunted down by Kuitser. Ferrara is still there in the mix. Stradom, however, this time around seemingly has found some good pace because he's built a decent gap between himself and Deploy. So curious to understand what has happened between race 1 and race 2. I mean, Deploy was just fantastically good during the race 1. Now, of course, he was and is or was chased down by Meyer, who I recall took second spot currently, and sadly did have a meltdown from a PC point of view. So car breakdown is what we would call it. Therefore is not taking part in this race, and that's unfortunate. That is absolutely unfortunate. So the grid has changed completely. Deploy really struggling out as he goes a bit off track there. Got Barrington Smith right behind him. Bauer on the other hand in his Porsche is also hunting the front back down. And then they've got a decent gap of about 10 plus seconds to Ferrara, who's got Giancarlo Sculler with him. And of course, Kuitser, Patterson, Van Vieren, followed by Mol, and then of course De Santos making a move on the inside on turn 2. Can he get that stick in? Goes very tight though, but I would assume that's just to create the gap. Ah, nice inside line. Ooh, very tight. Moves out the way. I think he's going to have it this time around. Inside line forces Mol to go on the outside. Again, the inside line is far better and superior. It gives you that better grip to have the speed and momentum. And of course we have Nel Bullion here watching the boys in front of him having a great battle. Duplessis trying to hunt them down. Then we've got Bartes Hugo in 14. He is sandwiched between an Aston and a McLaren. Wes and his McLaren over there, followed by Skutter. Then of course Prius. I'm just gonna go Janneman in number 17. Then of course the famous Steven with his KTM, Kel van der Berg in the Porsche, Lee Bullion for the Beefaroni team. Oldest man on the grid is what I'm going to go for at this moment, but such a true gentleman. He's under some pressure there by Paul Venter, who's just not had the best of 2 races at this moment, flaunting his, I would say, very bold yellow Audi. And then of course Meyer back in the mix. 3 laps down, he's still going to race and finish it. Big ups to Meyer. I'm going to give you 50 thumbs up, Meyer, just for the fact that you came back into the race after an actual disconnect and coming back for the points. That is phenomenal, man. Like, true sportsmanship shown right there for anyone that actually does love sim racing. You finish what you start, and that to me is just the way to do it. phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And where's the action? Schooler versus the Audi. So Porsche and Audi, these two boys are fighting it out. The battle is very close and intense. 3 minutes left to go. Schooler had a slight incident around the first sector, trying to make his way back. Plenty of boys with lots of incidents this year. I reckon for this season, with this condition, we're probably going to need a few more racing stewards. There's just not enough to... Oh, contact made by Schooler. Takes it on the inside line. Gives the position back though, so great driving etiquette from him. Bauer, on the other hand, has closed the gap a little bit down on Beddington Smith. Beddington, on the other hand, trying to stay away, because again, rather want to avoid the option or potential to have a battle. Only 2 minutes left. Ooh, light error. Look, oh, hiccups. Ooh, that boy cuts the line significantly. Again, that might not be true. Just looks like it was on my end. Could have a bit of a lag point of view. Ferrara and Schooler again in the mix. Where is Schooler? Schooler has lost it. Those boys have definitely had contact. I'm going to see if I can get that. Ferrara, Schooler. Coming down the straight, so Schooler is very close. Thinks he can put it in. No, not here. Hits out. Ooh, that is very tight. How everyone avoided it is unbelievable. The Audi, however, did recover from that spurt and moved forward. So I think they were just too close from a side-by-side point of view. That created a bit of contact. Stratum, on the other hand, is on the final lap. And where are we here? This is final few sectors though. So this time around it is vastly different though. So we've got Stratum taking the victory here. One more corner to go. He is 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Deploy. Deploy on the previous race was probably around about there quicker than Stratum. So situations have changed. I'll call it a victory for Stratum. Big ups for him for coming back on the second race though. No, the race still continues. He still has one more lap to go. Is Deploy doing phenomenally well. Bauer losing a potential spot. Big winner for me is Meyer this evening. I think he gets a big heads up all in all. Just the fact that he came to race, got disconnected, and then came back to finish the race. I'm calling that driver of the evening. Bartosz Hugo, he is trying to stay ahead of Sean Skitter to maintain his 14th position. Duplessis and Mole now fighting it out. Bit of a rear end contact there by Mole. That's going to unsettle the Aston Martin a bit, so I'm going to go that slight nudge to pass. Nonetheless, gets the position done. Mole now in 12th, Duplessis in 13th. Great move and driving there. Van Vieren now under pressure by Bullion, who did not have a fantastic first race. See straight on coming around the final bend, taking the victory.
The leader has finished the
Winner
race.
by a few seconds, followed by Christian De Ploy in second place, Ryan Beddington Smith coming around the corner in third, Bauer in fourth, Alan Patterson again. Consistency is king, that is that man. How he does it back to back, I just do not know. Like, at some of the point in the race, I'm fairly certain I saw him drop all the way backward, and he still ends up finishing fifth. What a drive. Kutzer, again, good race for him. He's sixth place where he had the first race. Ferrara bringing it home in seventh. Jean-Carlos Couler in eighth. Gerard Jansen van Vieren in ninth with his Audi. Bullion. Ooh. Mole coming in there. Okay, so everyone's penalties is going to get up. So that's 12. Duplessis, Hugo, Prius, Wes, Van der Berg, final corner for him. Lee Bullion battling it out there with Paul Venter. I reckon that's just Paul pushing Leon for the finish. Stephen Kenrick not far behind him. Meyer then of course following through. Whew, double race scenario. Let's just see if I don't think I'm gonna have all the details, but yes I do. So that is race one victory standpoint. Chris Duploy followed by Meyer, straight on Bauer, Patterson, Schooler, Barrington Smith, Skitter, Ferrara, and rounding off the top 10, De Santos. Race 2, on the other hand, we have straight on Duploy, Barrington Smith, Bauer, Patterson, Kutzer, Ferrara, Schooler, De Santos, and then in the final 10th spot, Van Vieren. So vastly different to where we have started off from the first race. I reckon what we have learned tonight is that even though we have two qualifying sessions, as you can see, it did have two potential different starts. We still had the same qualifying point. So something we might need to look into, something we'll have to figure out in the background. Again, that is up to the admin people who will probably get a mouthful from everyone. To everyone on the stream, again, apologies for any inconvenience caused this evening. It's been a while since we've actually done a decent streaming. What I can definitely tell you is that we will be back next week, same time, same place, still GT4s, round 2, and we're gonna smash it off at Bathurst. So come back just to have a look at Bathurst. The race itself will be 45 minutes long, one qualifying session, one practice session, and based on what I can foresee, we will have no rain. So this is gonna be for the Speed Demons next week. To all the winners there that has done their races, big ups to them. From my end, gotta admit, it was absolutely fantastic. Let's catch you all next week. To everyone out there, thanks for your support. Do keep well. Do have a good evening. Good night. God bless. Goodbye.
Green light.